From the beginning, we were wrong. And only now, well into the second decade of the conflict, have we begun to understand the mistakes we have made. We lived in harmony among the Fae, in a world awakened to new magic. Perhaps we should have foreseen what might be born on this rising tide. What force might awaken. A force powerful enough to twist even the eternal and the mutable Fae folk. But Gadflow, the new king of the Winter Court, surprised us all. Singular among his people, he was all that other Fae were not. Aggressive, ambitious, visionary. He had power like none we had ever seen. Terrible and deadly. Gadflow and his followers, the Tuatha Deon, believed that a new god was to be born in the east, beneath Gadflow's crystalline fortress of Amathen. In the name of that god, they marched to war against the young races of Amalur. Against a mortal army, no matter the power of their god, we might have been victorious. But the Fae are creatures of magic, not bound by the laws of life and death. Each Tuatha fallen on the battlefield would soon rise again, for the Fae do not know death as we do. How could we stand against such a force? For 10 years the war raged. For 10 years the armies of Men and Alpha fought and died. But as our numbers dwindled, we knew that it was only a matter of time. Our fate had been written. At least, that is what we believed. Until you died.
What do you think this one is then? Alpha? Garan? Could even be a Jotun. Always a surprise, eh, Garan?
Eyes on the job, boy. Don't matter what it is. Dead's dead. And be thankful for that. All we've seen. Go on and pull back the sheet, though. It'll need to be in our report, one way or the other. A Varani. Must have been a mercenary, come to fight in the war. I could have told him how he'd end up. Not in bad shape, though, all things considered. All right, then. Make sure it goes into the report. You know he'll want all the details.
Amazing how well the body held up. Better than I've seen.
I'm just glad it's not moving. Must have been born under a lucky star, this one.
Anything else we need?
Unless you'd like to name him, I think we're done. Put him with the others.
Well, that's it for you then. Better luck next time.
child of dust shall escape.
Help! Anybody!
You! Up there, please help me! Please! More mortal scum? No. You'll all die.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. If you hadn't come along... Wait. I've seen you before. On the slab. You were dead.
It worked! By the tome, it worked! You're alive!
You died. I don't know how or even where. But your body was remade in the Well of Souls, and somehow it worked. The well restored your soul to your body, and it worked. We must get you to Professor Hughes right away. He'll have questions for you. Professor Formorus Hughes, the Well of Souls is his life's work. The Tuatha are coming into the lower levels. If we hurry, we should be able to beat them to the top. Take these. They'll help keep you safe long enough to get to Hughes. Now, let's get going! The Well of Souls. Imagine an end to war. An end to death.
Wait, you're not one of them. It's yet alive. And who is this?
That's what I intend to find out. He came out of the well.
What? Then he'd better get inside to see the old man. Quick, before those Tuatha make another push.
This is where we part ways. But take whatever you want from this armory. We might have a few things that would fit you. Just make sure you get to Hughes. We can...
You've made it, and look at you. Even with all you've been through. Please forgive me. You must be terribly confused by all of this. Everything you see here is dedicated to one thing. The Well of Souls. The pursuit of immortality. And you, if we only had the time. There's so much we might learn from one another. Too much to explain right now. The Tuatha have come to stop my work, but I don't believe they know. What's important is getting you out of here safely. You're the only proof of what we've achieved here. I may not be able to save the well, but I can ensure that its only success is safe. Yes, you're right. I've got my notes, but it's most important. It's just that you're... Wait, where are you going?
Fascinating. Simply astounding. I'm not certain what's caused it, but somehow... yes, as I was saying, I'm not sure what... Perhaps I should go see.
Sir! Mr. Hughes! The Tuatha have reached the lab! They're inside the...
No! We've got to get you out of here now! Quickly! Follow the path to the town of Gorhart. Find Agath. He's a friend, and he may be able to help. No matter what else, stay alive!
You! I remember you. You're the one? How did you come back? How did you find me here? When I saw you with Edsel in the well, I ran. But it wasn't because I was afraid. I was coming to report that Hughes's experiment had succeeded. The Well of Souls is bigger than just one gnome's pet project. My contact pays well for information about its progress. I just send reports to make some money on the side. But I don't know how the Tuatha found out. This has nothing to do with them. I never wanted anyone to get hurt. But why?
come from the tower, haven't you? Name's Agarth. Maybe you can help an old Fate Weaver, eh? Did he? Poor old Fomerus Hughes. He respected the way the world works. What a shame. He's probably dead by now. The cards told me that the Well of Souls would work, but Hughes' success would come on the day of his death. He took it pretty well, honestly, although we did a lot of drinking after that. You're the one. Then that means... it all makes sense now. The cards this morning. I drew the Gravedigger, the Running Man, and the Beast. Prepare yourself. They're coming. What? How? What are you? The threads of fate. I've seen them before, but I've never seen anyone manipulate them like that. You just changed how the world was supposed to work. How did you do that? Fate is the will of the gods. No mortal should be able to change it. How is that even possible? Come here. I'm going to do a reading. You might be able to change the threads, but fate will still have a plan for you. I promise not to tell you if I see your death. That would be my guess. He was an academic, but he had a proper respect for fate's plan, unlike most gnomes. You're nervous. Relax. This is what Fate Weavers do. I'll be seeing your place in the pattern of destiny. Who you are, what you've done, where your path takes you. Or, at least, I should be. You're real, right? I swear I haven't had that much. I am, but still, I've never seen someone whose fate was just missing. Not even when I was drunk as the King of Ballads. This doesn't make sense. All mortal creatures have a place in the pattern. You should have one too, dead or not. If this is true, and I'm not saying I believe it, then your path is yours to determine. I can see the threads around you, but they're shifting, changing so rapidly, I can't make sense of them. Normally the threads would guide my hand to the cards, and I'd use those cards to see your pattern in the weave. But it just didn't happen. They wouldn't focus. So either there's something wrong with me, and there isn't, or there's something very wrong with you. It could mean nothing, or it could mean everything. The world is changing. You might be a sign of that, or maybe the cause. I've never had a reason to doubt my own readings, but we should consult with Arden. He's not a friend, but he's got a good eye for the tapestry. I'll meet you at his home to the east. I'm going to see if I can be of any help to the wounded at the tower.
Interesting. You're not at all what I expected to find here. I trailed a band of Tuatha to this place. They killed the Fate Weaver. I was hoping his corpse would give me an idea of why they were here. Now I know. They were hoping to find you. Knowing you, you're definitely involved. But something tells me I know you better than you knew yourself. Don't you remember me? I'm hurt. No time for introductions now. The Tuatha are still on the move. I'm certain that we'll see one another again. Soon. Be on your way.
What happened here? Arden's dead. How did this happen? Why would they have come here? Why kill a harmless old Fate Weaver? They couldn't know that you were headed here. I mean, the stingy bastard owes me a week of drinks. Doesn't mean he deserved to be murdered. I was hoping to avoid this, but I think I'm going to have to take you to Delok. It's a sacred place to we Fate Weavers. Somewhere that I was hoping to avoid. I was hoping Arden could take you, but I guess it comes down to me. No reason getting anyone else killed over it. Go, I'll meet you there. Once I give Arden a proper funeral. This is twice now I've buried the bodies left in your wake.
So formidable.
It's good you're here. I was beginning to think you were just something I saw in the bottle. Welcome to the ruins of Delok. Yes, it doesn't look like much, but in these ruins lies the Theater of Fate. The ancient home of the Fate Weavers. Come with me. No telling what we'll find down there. In we go. Ever since this place was abandoned, strange beasts have moved in. Stay close. This place has been abandoned for so long that some Fate Weavers think it's just a legend. After all those years of hiding in a bottle, it's good to see some action again. If only one last time. We're almost there, or at least as far as I can take you. I've seen this moment. I'm sorry, my friend. This is as far as I can take you. He was supposed to... Do you have any idea what you've done? What sort of power you're playing with? You absorbed everything he was, everything he would do. You changed the weave of destiny itself. Because of you, there are deeds he won't do. Children of his that won't be born. Victims that won't die when they were supposed to. Right now? No, you probably saved both our lives. But there's no way to tell what larger changes you've made in the fate of everyone around you. You are much more dangerous than I thought. We need to get you to the Theater of Fate right away. The Theater of Fate. I never thought I'd see it. We Fate Weavers never fully understood the power of this place. Seems there's a lot we don't understand. Gods, I should have brought another bottle. No surprise that Niskaru found its way to this place of power. Everything about with it, the Fae taught the Fate Weavers the answers to the deepest mysteries. Put your hands on the stone, and maybe we can find answers to your own mysteries. The Destiny Stone came apart at your touch, and all around you the tapestry of fate, unweaving itself. And there at the core was the Codex of Destiny, the wisdom that the Fae used to help the first Fate Weavers understand the nature of the weave. Don't you see what this means? Yes, it is. And from what I can tell, you're the one changing it. With every breath, you're changing how lives begin and end. The way the Codex of Destiny came to you out of the stone. That's got to mean something, too. But I'll be damned if I can read this thing. As dangerous as an open flame. You could help people or destroy them entirely. When you get involved, there's no grand cosmic plan. Only freedom, and all the dangers that come with it. And that means...
Purge the abomination! In the name of Godflaw!
I'm beginning to think that these Tuatha don't like you. Now why do you think that might be? After all, someone who can change the fate of the world, who wouldn't want you? Enough to know you're something special. Far more interesting than you were before you died. And that's saying quite a bit. Now it's my turn. What are you doing here? Is that so? If your wanderings are going to change the fate of everyone you meet, then perhaps you should be a little more careful. Still, your wanderings led you to find the Codex of Destiny. And here we thought it was lost to this. Good luck understanding it. That's Fae knowledge. They don't even have a written language. The stone itself is embedded with what they know, unseeable to mortals. Normally, I'd suggest looking in Issa, but the Fae are not fond of unexpected guests. But don't look so sad. There's still hope. When you're ready, meet me at the House of Ballads. Be on your way.
We can't trust her. Never met a dark old father. She wasn't wrong about that codex. Meanwhile, we can't just ignore the Tuatha that are tracking you. We need to do something about them. Wise, but that doesn't mean she's our enemy either. You need someone to look at that codex, and only the Fae would understand it. And she was right about tracking those Tuatha. Meet me at Dighton Hill, and I think I could follow them back to wherever they've made camp. I've got some final rites to perform before I leave this place. Good luck. Ah, the castle. This tells me that your tavern will be a part of Loch Dyden for decades to come?
Last month you told me that the plague would take us all.
I know, but that's not what fate says anymore.
Damn it, Agarth! You're cut off!
Yeah, and I bet I know whose fault that is. It's your fault that I can't pay my tab, you know? I wasn't ever supposed to come back here in the first place. I've spent the last 20 years knowing what fate had in store for me. Damn it. I thought I had my life figured out. Not for a Fate Weaver, it isn't. But that's just the problem. When I was young, I thought I could overcome anything. Now, I know otherwise. I fought beasts the size of the first time I saw my own fate. I realized it was nothing but a curse. My own death, of course. But not a hero's death as I had always dreamed. I was going to die alone, and it was a terrible end. But I knew it was part of fate's great... I was at peace with knowing the worst. But what do I do now that there's nothing to know? You're right. My glory days don't have to be over, and as long as I'm around you, I don't know how my story will end. That means I've got to make sure you stay around in one piece. After all, I don't just owe you my life. I owe you my future. Why, I once tracked a Yeth of Avgrun on a moonless night by smell. They've set up in a cavern north of town, complete with some way of scrying your location. I have a plan, but it'll take the both of us to work. These soldiers were sent out with one purpose, finding you and making sure you stay dead. They're using something big to track you. They call it the Eyes of Tirnoch. Smash it. The main entrance is heavily guarded and will require a strong attack. The other route is trapped. It'll need us. I don't have an answer for that. I can't imagine what about you made Gadflow send his troops across the continent. Straightforward and direct. A warrior after my own heart. I'll cover the back and make sure they can't escape to report back to whoever sent them here. Let's track down some trouble. This is the front entrance. You'll face their strongest guards. So it's no... I'll slip in the back and make sure none of them escape. Good luck. I'll see you inside.
The undying mortal has grown tired of running, has he? Decided to fight back? Can you tell me the difference between a creature of nature and a child of dust like yourself? We children of nature know our roles, meek and mighty. You children of dust do not know your place. You come into our land, you come to... and you don't know when to die. You shall learn. In time, all mortals will know the might of Gad. All mortals end. Even if...
At least the Tuatha won't be able to track you so easily now. But if you or anyone else, I'd suggest you start running and not stop for a few years. But you might just have a chance. You're doing well, so far. You've blinded them here, and they haven't killed you yet. And much as I hate to say it, you'll need to take Aelin Shear up on her offer of help. The Codex of Destiny should hold some answers for you. For all I know, you've already met her in the House of Ballads. But it sounds like she's the only lead now. We should be able to get out this way.
And here I was beginning to think that you'd never show up. This is Lionel, Lawmaster of the House of Ballads. Give the Codex over to him, and he may have your answers. Lawmaster Lionel has devoted centuries to the study of lore, and just talk to him, and I'm sure he'll be able to shed some light on the issue. Be on your way.
You must be Lady Shear's friend. She speaks very highly of you. An occasion rare enough to be worth recording, but let's see this codex. Oh, nothing. This is no mere lawstone, you know. The Codex of Destiny is distilled knowledge from the High King of the Fae. To have such knowledge in your hands is a tremendous gift. But why did it reveal itself to you? Surely you have a part to play in some great tale. Perhaps you'll act as the chosen pawn, or even the... Now, I can only make out some parts, but this is odd. The Codex speaks of an exception, a void, an... This is simply too much. The High King would never pawn such absurdity off as wisdom. I'm afraid I cannot. This simply cannot be the true Codex of Destiny. It must be nothing more than a very impressive forgery. It speaks of impossible things. Changes to fate, death. I would thank you to take your Codex away from here. I will have no part in these lies. Is there a meaning to it? Only its author can tell you. Do not bother me with such foolishness again.
Lionel spends his life cherishing old stories, but show him something truly new, and he dismisses it. Tragic. No, I bet my blades that it's real. Lionel may be a very learned scholar, but it's been ages. If this old fool thinks the High King would never have written the Codex, then it's all the more important that the High King see it. It will be difficult. His court is in the city of Issa. Very few mortals are permitted in its gardens. I do know one individual who can grant you permission to enter, but you'll have to meet him alone. Neerlem is a private person, and he carries a grudge against me, although perhaps person isn't the right word for him, nor is him. You'll find him in southeast Dalentoth, at Caer Neerlem. Just head towards the giant tree, and you'll have to meet him on your own. I'd accompany you, but Neerlem and I have our disagreements. Good luck with Neerlem, and ignore anything he says about me.
But not... Neerlem says few words, and even fewer words are spoken. Neerlem would not mention you unless there was some pressing matter of fate. Go with wisdom.
Come closer, little curiosity. The curious one seeks a way to the Fae, but it has found its way to the boughs of the World Tree instead. Rest, Quickling, and I may study you. Look around you, and I am all that you can see. My roots, my family and I circle this world. We were saplings when your kind emerged from the dark. and we will grow with you until this world burns once again. My roots spread wide and deep, and I have heard what brought you here, but I cannot see where you go hence. The time of the Fae is passing. I must shelter them in their twilight, and protect them from the Prismere corruption that spreads in their kin. The gardens of fate are clear to me, and all that ever shall be are visible in its bloom. Issa's end has always been certain. Buried beneath Prismere blades, I can only hold back. Where you tread, you mark all you touch. Before I would help you, I must know. Will you be a kind gardener, or a careless reaper? Like all quicklings, you are eager to act. I would rather see the method of your action. You can change this fate, but to what? In doing so, you may awaken a more dangerous threat, like your ally, Aelin Shear. She walks a dark and tangled path. A path you once walked together, before you... But your path is your own now. Defeat Nash, remove the taint of prison, then I shall see who you are. If not, who you will become. The troll matriarch and her brood await at Haxi. Their corruption burns my roots and threatens our future. Walk your path, and watch your ally.
I thought I'd find you here. That damned tree sent me. He has roots and branches all through the forest. But I was so hoping he said we should walk this path together. Thought I could help you, or maybe that you could help me. I've never met Nash. Trolls and Doppelfar are rare. And if she's so corrupted that Neuralim is nervous about her, then she must pose a bigger threat than... Let's not keep Nash waiting. Prismere, what have the two other done to her? Nice work. I see you haven't forgotten how to handle yourself in a fight. Still, this is bad. I didn't think the Tuatha would reach this far. At least not so soon. Aren't I always? But have patience. For now, why not take comfort in knowing that you saved Neuralim and his forest? Go, talk to the tree. I'm sure he'll allow you into Issa. I'll stay here and finish off any remaining Tuatha. I'll find you again when the time is right.
You return. and in your wake, Dalentarth blossoms. The flow is rearranged now, and Nash's brood is at an end. You have destroyed what was written and made a... And yet the Tuatha still spread, marching with Prismere and pain. You have only delayed our doom. You have the power of an immortal, and yet the humility to ask for help. Little one, I envy your grace. You shall carry my blessings with you. You must know this, Quickling. The age is changing. Immortals are passing, and the future belongs to the young race. Go, and stand at the heart of the She. There you will find Issa, and perhaps you will find wisdom as well. Only the path of your own choosing. Stand at the heart of the She, and if that path includes the gardens of Issa, may your path be long and evergreen.
Welcome to the Gardens of Issa, home of the Summer Court, and the warm heart of the Feylands. It is a rare occasion for us to welcome a child of dust into Issa, but it is equally rare that Niralim chooses a champion. Pleased to meet you. I am Chancellor to the High King. I pray you enjoy our hospitality.
Conceived in chaos, birthed in stolen magic, torn from fate, child of two fathers. Treacheries in treacheries, winter is broken. The puppet king upon his throne, drinking flattery and lies. The power that grows in him is not his own. In the east it did begin, as it will end. From behind the veil she screams. Madness and rage. Madness and rage. We realize this may be confusing for you. Fate, like the Fae, cannot be changed. But the Tuatha are Fae who have become something new. And you are a mortal who is free from Fate's weave. Gadflow claims that the Tuatha are the work of his new god. If the Tuatha are the creations of a god, what does that make you? The time of the Fae is passing. Our land and our soul. Gadflow's war means the death of us all, Fae and mortal alike. It is written in the weave that we shall all It is too late for us, but not for you. That is the fate which I look to you to change. Even with the power of a god, you have the humility of a mortal. Perhaps this gift has found the correct person. This is a time of great change. Change we once thought was impossible. We were wrong. You are intertwined with the power in the East. There can be no doubt of that. Your energy reaches back to Alabastra. We do not know what will happen when you travel there, but we know that the power behind Gadflow is your ultimate goal. His god holds your answer and the fate of this world. I thank you, and perhaps you can help change our world's fate as well. I have seen those who were destined to be heroes, for whom great deeds came naturally. They come, they act, and they pass on as written. You do great things not because you must, but because you choose to. That is by far a far truer greatness. Admirable, but strength of will cannot see you through this alone. You may be unbound by fate, but you are not free from death. Speak with your allies. Only with their aid can you hope to overcome the forces that stand against you.
I couldn't make out half of what the king was saying, but it sounds like you've got your work cut out for you. Good thing you won't be facing it alone. In fact, I think I've got a lead on finding an old friend of ours. Old Fomorous Hughes, of course. If anybody can help, it's bound to be the gnome who brought you back to life. I've been asking around and I was able to make contact with his superior. He thinks he might be able to help find Hughes. All gnome scholars have a Templar who sponsors their research, and apparently Hughes' sponsor, goes southwest to the Hollowlands and Detir. Octien will be waiting there to discuss how you might reach Hughes.
Who would have thought you were so interesting? Death seems to have worked out very well for you. Agarth's looking for escape, Neralim's looking for a savior, and Tatarian is looking for a champion, and somehow, you're giving everyone what they want. I'm impressed. You're right. This won't be easy. The Tuatha have our forces under siege at Mel Senshir, and their power has only grown over the years. You'll need more help than just me and that old Fate Weaver. You'll need an army. A few years ago, one warrior could have slipped past unnoticed, but stealth is no longer an option. Not even for me. But there is hope. In the plains of Erethel, there waits a player who has been away from this game for far too long. It is time to contact General Telera. Meet me in the village of Emer, and I will tell you everything.
You are my contact. I should have known. Punctuality is not one of your papal strengths, and you have so few. You may recall our mutual friend, Fomorous Hughes. The gnome who brought you back to life? I suspect you would. Well, Scholar Hughes has been missing since the attack on his tower. As his patron, I am quite concerned. You are, how shall I say, uniquely suited to the task. Simple. Scholar Hughes is responsible for the most valuable invention in recorded history. He must be protected. I am his patron. Not only am I responsible for his work, but also for his well-being. Fomorous has done much for my standing. I owe him. And I am grateful. Scholar Hughes is quite fortunate to have friends like us. Hughes has an old laboratory in the cavern of Saltwell Mines. I believe he's been conducting research there since the destruction of Alistar Tower. Find him, and you will be rewarded for your contribution to science. I will await your success in the Librarium in Edessa.
Have I been down here so long? Is the madness so great that I see the faces of the damned before me? Or is it really you? It is! By the tome! Come closer. Let me look at you. It has been an eternity since I've seen a trusted face. Are you? In many ways, your awakening has brought me nothing but misery. But that is not your fault. I am to blame for all of it. Wait. Do you hear that sound? It could be the Sons of Laz, but it could be someone else. The last we spoke, it was the Tuatha that reduced my lab to cinders. Now it's assassins. Everywhere I go, destruction follows. I have grown so weary of it, my friend. All I ever wanted was to thank you for more than just your protection, for being the one good thing to come of this disaster. I have few friends, but I gladly count you among them. I trust him with my life, which is why I've been trying to contact him since I fled Alistar, but to no avail. Where is he now that I need him most? Wait. Of course. He is the one I trust most, and the one who would benefit most from my death. I am a fool! Octien is behind the assassins, and now that you and I are together, he will try to kill us both. Why did I not see this before? If he could repair the Well of Souls in Alistar, then he has no need of me. Not if he has Ventrinio. No, not me. But Ventrinio's old notes suggest that he may know a way into Alabastra. I wonder, perhaps, is it possible that you have met Ventrinio already? That would explain it. You were attuned to his well, but raised from mine. Unfortunately, the only way to find Ventrinio is to go through Templar Octien, which will not be easy now that we know of his treachery. Octien is a powerful sorcerer with tremendous influence. If you attacked him outright, you would lose all credibility. We must play his game. The only one capable of dealing with Octien in Edessa will be another Templar. Luckily, we have one. Her name is Templar Joriel, and she is reputed for her wisdom and strength of character. She and Octien rarely see eye to eye on matters of policy. If Joriel can make Octien answer for his crimes, then we will gain access to his information. That includes the location of Ventrinio's lab. If you wish to uncover the mystery of your deaths, then you will need Ventrinio. He is the key to Alabastra. Find Templar Joriel in Edessa. We don't have much evidence, but I have a feeling she will help us. Oh, don't call it that. You're just having a talk with Octien in the library. In return for your discretion, he'll give us what we want. I know it's unpleasant, but when you work with the Templars, you just start thinking this way. It helps you stay alive.
Hold right there, newcomer. I welcome you to Edessa, but before you enter, I must catalogue your visit. Please answer the questions as truthfully as possible. It's imperative that our tallies be accurate. Now, excuse my rudeness. I am Senar Bru. My purpose is to sort those that come to Edessa, to welcome them to the city while maintaining the They help sort the newly arrived in the city. We want to ensure that everyone is placed where they properly belong. Yes, well, at least you look more put together than some of the people that came here before. With any luck, your errands go without incident. Now, where have you come to Edessa from? Alistar? You mean you've come from Fomerus Hugh's laboratory? Yes, I see it now. They were wrong about your nose, but you match the description of the one I was to look out for. We can dispense with the remainder of my questions. You are free to enter Edessa. You will be lodged in the Sandstone Villa, temporarily. It's no trick, newcomer. I take my duties very seriously. But I think you are right to be suspicious. True, you have been saved from the squalid lodgings of the Hospitalis quarters, but Sandstone Villa is usually saved for a peculiar manner of guest. It is more than unusual for one of your kind to be lodged there in any event. Now here's your key. Welcome to Edessa. Yes, go on.
You. So, you're the one that's come from Alistar. I've waited more than a while for you to show up. I'm Bruton, the Canis Bruton of the Praetorians. I've been stationed here for your protection. I won't lie to you, Longlegs. You being housed here is because someone wants to keep an eye on you. I don't even know who it is. Luckily, looks like I'm not the only one that noticed your arrival. Got some letters here from the other concerned parties. Could be some leads. Hey, and here they are. Talking with any of their authors should get you in the right direction. I won't lie to you. I'm sticking my neck out here helping you the way I have. But I won't stand to let any one gnome ruin the greater good of my people. Need anything else, talk to Milo. He's been stationed as your retainer while you stay in the villa. How should I know? It was a Dresden sign. I just checked for poison and all that. Just track down whoever wrote them. You do know how to read, right? That might be useful. Yeah, good hunting.
Yes? What do you want? I am not in the habit of making conversation with strangers, especially one of your stature. Please be quick. I see. Think very, very carefully about what you are saying. Octien is a Templar. He is in a position of the highest authority. And who, may I ask, are you? For you to accuse Octien without having a direct confession is not only meaningless, but contrary to all our procedures. Make no mistake, stranger. If you initiate hostilities with a Templar, then you will become an enemy of the gnome state. Justice is pursued when a Templar confesses to his crimes. Then and only then. And Octien will confess to nothing, I assure you. I can do no more for you. Trouble me no further with this matter, especially when you have so little evidence. We have already discussed this. Nothing short of a confession would convict him. As such, Templar Octien will remain undisturbed in the Librarium.
You're alive. What an unexpected and quite unfortunate turn of events. For starters, I expected you to be rotting in a sandy ditch somewhere. Supper for the carrion birds. Understand, you and I are alike. All we both want is to see this business reach its end. Did it? Here you stand, suspecting me of a great many crimes, yet unable to lift a finger. Tell me, who has the power? You are a child. These crimes, as you call them, shall be my final triumph. Innocent blood has been the price for this research. But the will of souls is priceless. It is worth every sacrifice. I do have one confession, though it's not the one you seek. If a fight is what you desire, you will find me quite hard to kill. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same for you. I'll admit I did not see you and Hughes allying to blackmail me. His conscience was always his biggest liability. Then Trinio will take over research on the well. He has no such weaknesses. Perhaps I'll even give him your corpse to examine. After all, you met your first death as his assistant. It will be a reunion. Of course. And it's such a pity you'll never find out.
If setting fire to the librarium and hiring assassins is not an admission of guilt on Octien's part, I certainly don't know what is. It is clear that we Templars must make him assume responsibility for his actions, overt as well as hidden. Even though you went against my explicit instruction, you were effective. You have my respect. Should he survive the wounds earned in battle, I should think so. To that effect, I have ordered a moratorium on all of his current studies and projects. All, perhaps, save this mysterious Well of Souls. That one will take some deliberation, considering its various ethical and societal ramifications. Regardless, gnome society is in your debt, and we always pay what is owed. Ventrinio Desalini. One name I never expected to be brought into this business. It seems he has escaped the gallows yet again. I believe your friend Scholar Hughes may be able to help. While you were here, my people found him salvaging the tomes Octien attempted to burn. Now, you must excuse me. A Templar has fallen from power, and Edessa's political buzzards are circling. What's needed?
It was my mistake to assume that Octien would go quietly, or that he would leave evidence behind. Such a waste. Some of those books he burned were centuries old, but luckily for us, I was able to salvage some from the flames. Oh, great many prizes. Treatises on the nature of death, tables upon tables of autopsy analyses. Based off of what I've read in these pages, Ventrinio has been working on an island off of Cluricon. True, but this young lady says she has a way to fix that. I'm not sure how you know Elinshire, but she seems quite eager to speak with you. When you meet Ventrinio, be careful. His genius comes at the price of his sanity. He may want to kill you the second time around for good measure. If he hasn't yet gotten completely mad, Ventrinio should be able to get you into Alabastra. Oh, I will. In fact, I believe I'll be staying in Edessa to offer what support I can. With Octien out of the way, the people will be needing a new Templar, after all.
Yes? Thank you for coming all this way. I don't know if you heard that, but it sounds as if General Talera is still here, in exile. For all but losing the fortress of Melsenshire. Long ago, Talera led our forces, but then the Tuatha produced. Many blamed her for the loss, to have built up hopes so high, only to have them topple. That was Talera's crime, and she has paid for it, day after day. You're as quick as ever. Talera is in the cradle of summer, banished from the battlefields of Melsenshire, until she can atone for her past. According to the Fate Weaver here, she seeks an artifact from Ural Tusk, but she cannot do so alone, for poor Talera is fated never to succeed. That is where you can help. You should be just what the General's looking for.
Hail! I am General Talera ap Gwydion, former commander of the Eastern Alpha Forces. Surely you're not the aide Elinshire promised. She spoke as if she planned to send a whole squad of soldiers, not one faceless mercenary. You have the bearing of one that's seen combat, but you never fought in the war, or you would know who I am. Once I was the commander of Melsenshire, the Alpha Fortress to the east. I held back the Tuatha at every push before the Baelor came. Then everything fell to pieces. Understood. But you wouldn't be the first person that Elinshire has used. Most of the time, you don't even know she's doing it. Not that I need any help in my misfortune. You see, all those who involve themselves with me soon face disaster. Such is the fate I have been dealt. The years have been long since I first learned of the means that might deliver Melsenshire from the Tuatha. It lies in Ural Tusk, beyond a gate fated never to be opened, in a hall awash with Niskaru. Any who seek access to the ruin must face them. For all my years of research, I've only ever found one clue to this puzzle. when the great voices rise in song. It may refer to the wind stones scattered across the plains. Take this chime. It is said to have been taken from the ruin during its construction many centuries ago. I've tried using it on the wind stones with no luck. The wind stones are located all across the plains.
Be mindful of your actions.
I can't believe it. The gate shifted? For all my efforts, you simply appear and make it respond. No, you've opened one part of the gate, but 4 more remain. You must find the wind stones scattered throughout the plains and activate them. I will remain here. The Niskaru will sense that the seal is weakened. Someone must try to hold them back. I'll stay here and fight any Niskaru. You've done it. The ancient Irathi sealed this place centuries ago, and it opens to welcome you. Incredible. The piercing light should be in the deepest vault of these ruins. Be careful. The Niskaru will do anything to keep us from that spear. The piercing light awaits. We're close now. I've heard that the spear is guarded by the Niskaru warrior Azagal. We will learn if it still is. I see the spear. The Niskaru are sure to press the attack. You must hold them off. I don't know what to feel. All the years I spent trying to claim this weapon, and I never truly thought I would. I was not fated to have it. Not until you came. You have thrown back the veil of fate and revealed what is truly possible. It's almost enough to make me believe in second chances. Yes, but it is so much more. This will end the siege of Mel Senshir. It will bring the death of the Baelor. It will give me my chance for redemption. And I never would have laid hands on it, if not for you. Kind words, but not true. My day will come when Baelor is dead at my feet. And I would be honored to have you beside me then, too. Meet me at Rathir, the city in the east. Together we will break the siege of Mel Senshir and turn the Tuatha tide. With the wards down, I think we can get out this way. We have a problem. Elund Karth refuses to send any troops to assist Mel Senshir. The old fool never would listen to reason. I certainly hope so. We're going to need every sword we can muster. You can find him in the upper city, staring over the strait at Mel Senshir. The fool might as well be at its funeral.
someone else will have to. Damn fool.
What do you want? I'm beset by petitioners these days. Another advocate for this absurd plan to retake Melsenshire, I take it. Look to Rathir's sister across the strait. Her battered walls, her burned gardens, her back broken from a decade of war. We take in refugees. We send them food that we can spare. We try to ease her pain. But for 10 years I stood here and watched her die slowly. And now you, a stranger, think to convince me to commit the whole of this city to saving her because our army's greatest failure has recovered some old relic. Melsenshire stands as Rathir's eastern shield. Even now, nearly broken, she still stands. This city can do nothing for the fortress, but perhaps its people can. The wounded we have here wish to return to fight for the fortress one last time. I'll tell them to meet you at the docks, and take this as well from my own collection. May it be of use to you in the coming battle. Go. Save our sister across the sea or die with her.
A few days and I'll be free. Hi. You know, before I met you, I swore to myself that my fighting days were behind me. After fighting nearly all my life, it was one of the hardest things I've had to do. But now you've taken me this far. If I don't take these next steps on my own, I don't think I ever will.
We're so close. Hurry now. 1,000 times you could ask that question, and every time I would answer yes. Absolutely yes. But there is something terrible about arriving at a day you've been anticipating for years.
I've been up for days.
The ships are loading now for Melsenshire. Are you ready to board? Right away.
Agarth, you know better than any of us how this will end. Why must we fight a war that you know we will not win?
You would still ask that to Lara, after all you've seen.
Until I get an answer, Fate Weaver. Until then.
Why do we fight? Because there is hope. Because only through battle can we break the chains that fate has forged. Don't you see? We have been given a chance. And though some of us will die, we will die knowing that our lives were finally our own. That we are no longer slaves to the whims of fate. Would you throw it away? Just for fear of another defeat? Not I. I will fight. And if I die knowing that I have made a choice. And this choice, for good or for ill, was my own.
Been up for days.
The great general is back. Just like she promised. Another 10 years, and I might have started to doubt. Not exactly the heroes of legend, but you're a welcome sight nonetheless. Likely, you've come to see the fortress before it falls. I've seen her stand for the last 10 years, but the end, I think, has finally come. Our scouts report that the Tuatha are massing, and in their wake we've seen it. The Niskaru Lord, Baelor, has come for Melsenshire at last. Indeed, they expect us to hide behind the walls of Melsenshire. Instead, we'll rush the field and delay the Baelor's arrival. That leaves the Witch Knight. Malwyn is the commander of the Tuatha forces, and likely the one who has made a pact with the Baelor. You and Talera will be part of an effort to kill him. If we can kill Witch Knight Malwyn, then the Baylor may run rampant in the field. And in the chaos, we can rout the Tuatha. It is much to hope for, but that's the plan. Soon. I know you're eager, but take a moment to make sure you're ready. Check your gear and say your goodbyes. When you're ready, come meet me by the gates. I'll be readying the troops.
I hope you're ready for what lies ahead. This is no time to make jokes. These people are scared, and your chances are slim, with or without that spear. Mel Senshir's fate was sealed long ago. You may be able to change that, but the Tuatha aren't taking any chances. Prepare to fight, and be ready to die. Bjorn, you didn't think I'd miss this, did you?
She promised another... What is it? Time is running out! Steel yourselves. The battle is not to be taken lightly. Then let us go. We've had sightings of the Tuatha Vanguard. When they enter the courtyard, we will open the gates and counterattack. You and Talera will use the distraction to execute your plan. One way or another, this will be over soon.
Our hunt for Malwyn can now begin in earnest. I will take one path and you another. If Wygland's troops hold, then Malwyn will be delayed at the outer wall with the Baylor. But we should make sure he doesn't get past us. Now, we must get moving. There is no room for error.
Get moving! I'll make sure they don't try that again. Someone's got to make sure these ladders stay down. And you need to move before Wygland's troops start falling back.
Finally, some reinforcements. We tried to fight off the Tuatha, but they took most of our company prisoner. They're threatening to execute the rest unless we lay down our arms. You could get in amongst them, silently, if possible, and save what's left of the survivors.
This is our chance, before they can regain control of the creature. Ah! Theoden, guide my hand. For Rathir! ends here!
You're still alive! You've got to destroy Baylor before it tears this place apart. I know, child. Everything seemed still in that moment when she struck the Baylor. At least she died how she wanted to. But her sacrifice won't mean anything unless you do something to stop that beast.
They're gone. After 10 years, I can't believe they're finally gone. We lost many, but we all knew the risk. I almost joined them. The Tuatha had my back against the outer wall when there was this flash of light. I looked up, and all I saw was the silhouette of you on top of that beast. It was the most glorious sight of my life. But I never saw the General. I'd like to personally thank her. Then, the rumors of her dishonor will finally be silenced. She gave everything to us in the end, and the world will know that. When we rebuild these walls, we'll name them after General Talera. Her memory will stand as long as the ramparts shine. But she never would have been here had you not delivered her to us. It can never be enough, but we hope you'll accept this as our thanks. We freed the city, but the Tuatha still hold most of Cluricon. Over the years, they've infected every part of these swamps. Clearing them out isn't going to be easy, but we might have help. There are rumors of a small band of fighters harassing the Tuatha. Perhaps the hero of Melsenshir can convince them to work with us. Good luck. Our soldiers are doing their best out there, but it's still a nightmare. Watch out for those red-eyed bastards.
Allies can come from the strangest place.
Off into the swamps, I assume? None that would be of any help. After a decade of Tuatha control, they've all gone quiet. But if there are any out there, I'm sure they'll be looking for you. Just keep your eyes open. After all, you'll be in their swamp. Be on your way.
Any luck out there? They're fighting the Tuatha, right? Since you're the one who defeated Witch Knight Malwyn, I suspect they'll be looking to find you. I'll meet you in Melsenshir.
It is a pleasure to meet the Siegebreaker. Especially here, in a land where pleasure has been all too rare. I am Sidon the Outcast, Prince in exile of the House of Sorrows. I'm here to welcome you to our home. I see the hesitation in your eyes. Although I am Fae of the Winter Court, you and I have a common enemy. Indeed. You accomplished a great feat here. But the Tuatha Deon are far from defeated. Before striking the heart, you must trim the fat and cleave through the bones. If you wish to put an end to Gadflow's raid, meet my brethren and me at Foe's Hearth to the east, and we can talk further there. I'd rather not talk here. Cluricon is filled with Tuatha spies. Travel to the old ruins at Foe's Hearth. We'll meet you inside and we can talk there. But be careful. These swamps can be...
You go ahead. It's been some time since Sidon and I had a chance to talk.
Indeed, Agar. I hear on the winds that you laid down your sword and drowned yourself in drink when you learned the ways of fate. And yet here you are, sword in hand, again the victor. How is this? Do the winds lie to me?
It's a long tale. It started when I sobered up long enough to go bury a friend of mine in Alistar Tower. Or rather, that's what I had planned to do.
I trust that the
Can't believe we beat you here. Sidon knows some amazing shortcuts through this place.
It is agreeable to see you, Siegebreaker. Cluricon can be inhospitable at times, as the Tuatha have learned. We've made sure of it. So I did. We are the Bitter Frost, the last few remnants of free Winter Fae. We have refused to bend knee to Gadflow or his god. Our numbers are few, but we have fought our kin as best we can. The once noble houses of sorrow, pride, and vengeance have all fallen under Gadflow's sway. Until they're freed, the Tuatha's ranks will continue to swell with the faithful. Gadflow has all but destroyed the Winter Fae and unbalanced the Great Cycle. We have no great love for your kind, but Gadflow leads us all to destruction. His folly threatens Amalur itself. You need not trust me. Only my desire for the survival of this world. The Tuatha have built Prismia chantries across Cluricon. From here, Gadflow unifies his troops, preaches the word of Tirnoch, and corrupts our land. Destroy these chantries and disrupt Gadflow's ability to infect this land. Without Gadflow to guide them, the Tuatha in Cluricon will be disorganized and scattered. Go now. Break the tyrant's grip.
So few of the Winter Court left to step. These Fae have formed quite a fighting force. It'll be good to have them on our side. Be careful around the chantries.
Oh, the undying mortal from the well has returned. Your mere existence is an abomination against all things. How can you not see this? Mortals pervert the world, twisting it to their own ends. Your unnatural new life is only the latest in a long line of your kind's debaucheries. But Tirnoch the Merciful chose me to be the cure. My army is the wildfire that will clear the land of you and your kind. Whirlwind of Tirnoch, you struggle against the force of a simple army. How will you fare, I wonder, against the power of a god? Of course you aren't. You may be a foolish, unclean sin against the natural order, but I'll grant that you're no coward. The only solution is for you to be cleansed when Tirnoch the Merciful comes to our world. Soon. Try as you might, struggle as you will, you are deluded. There is no winning for you, only death. Yes, but death as you define it means little to us. The great cycle returns each Tuatha as Tuatha again. And every time they do, Tirnoch gets stronger. Soon, she will be born into this world. You will witness her power personally, and it will be the last thing your mortal flesh shall ever feel.
Can you feel? Gadflow's voice has fallen silent in this land. The Tuatha are frightened and disorganized. They run back to Alabastra to make their final stand. We owe you much. Our eyes are opened and our blades unsheathed. Cluricon is won, but the House of Pride stands between us and the final goal. We are now free to press forward. And I can take you to an old friend who knows the next step. Yes, we will take you to his filthy tower on the island of Danistar. He hides within, and has not emerged in some time. I would like nothing more than to let him rot there. But he knows of a way past the sentinel of the House of Pride. But there will be more danger on the path ahead. Take these blades to prepare for whatever troubles you will face at his tower or beyond. Far to the southwest, there is a darkened tree by the Caelid coast. Meet me there, and we can walk the shadow to the gnome's tower. Aelin Shear will be waiting there. She was most insistent to join in whatever business you have with the Collector of the Dead. We will meet again at the shadowed tree on the Caelid coast.
The Tuatha are on the run. Good work. Plus, it's much more pleasant here without Gadflow bellowing at me from all corners. But enough pleasantry. Are you prepared for your reunion with Ventrinio? Very forthright of you. I'm sure he'll be very reasonable. He probably won't even ask why you're back from the dead. Just make sure he lives long enough to get us into Alabastra, and you can count on my help. I believe our new friend has a disturbing path of living shadow.
Good luck with the gnome, especially if you plan on killing him. stand in the pool of shadow, close your eyes, and touch the tree. I'll take care of the rest. And don't open your eyes while you're moving through the shadows, no matter what you hear. The shadow awaits.
Just as Hughes thought, Ventrinio used the same wards from their old lab. This'll be quick. Follow me and be careful. The Laz are coming from somewhere in here. Careful, or we'll get trapped up there too. Here's where we part ways. I'll stop the Laz at the stairwell. You get upstairs and retrieve Ventrinio. I'll hold this staircase. Move!
Took your time, gods damn it! Ever since the Baylor was defeated, the Chaos magic sent the well off its alignment. You show up, and now the Laz are... Wait. What? It's you. You're alive. But I saw you die. It was terrible. You were the best assistant I ever had. Who else could have helped me get into Alabastra? Who else had that ambition? We got more than enough Prismere, but you wanted to track down the power source, even if it meant sneaking right onto Gadflow's nose. I spent days trying to recover your body, but I never expected to find you alive, or for you to return. Speaking of which, how did you return anyway? What? That's impossible. You were attuned at this well. You've never even set foot in his lab. Ha! Hughes is a joke. He doesn't have the stomach for this work. Don't try waking the dead if you're not ready to make a few corpses, I say. But the well is coming down around us. Quick! I've got to slow the energy and shut this thing down. And don't... Oh, damn it all. Here they come. Hold them off. The Laz are here. Hold them off while I try to stop the flow of energy to the well.
There you are. Get up. Get up, you miserable worm. We've got a job for you.
A job? Ha! Do you know who I am? Do you know what I do here? This is the Well of Souls, the key to everlasting life. To the hells with your job.
Of course I know who you are. And since Fomorus Hughes has proven the well to be a success, you no longer need to continue your research.
Bah! Hughes was always afraid of getting his hands dirty. He doesn't have what it takes to unlock the real power of the well. He's nothing but a glorified school teacher, weak and undedicated. By my calculations, his well may work, but he has no way to attune anyone to it. Any success he has had is more mine than his.
That may be so, but his reluctance is how you can help us where he cannot. Get us into Alabastra. We'll take care of the rest.
Yes. I'll need an escort to secure more unrefined Prismere from Alabastra. Perhaps we can make a deal after all. Anything we can salvage? Even a piece? All my work gone. Damn it all! But at least we're still alive. Once again, I triumph over death itself. Going back into Alabastra. Well, I still have a way in, but it's more dangerous now than the last time we went. I'll need more Prismere if I'm to rebuild the well. And I suppose I owe you something for saving my life. Perhaps this talisman can help you. It's a little something I salvaged from the debris. It might just help against whatever killed you the first time. We got in with a little help, of course. See, it's all because of Callous Dren, the defender of pride. In his house, no one can stand before him. None can even approach, unless you have my little secret. Patience, patience. You'll have it soon enough. I'm going to have to dig it out of the rubble of the tower. Go to the field of Huber, and I'll meet you there. And if you value your life, do not approach Dren. Get going, and remember, don't go near.
Run!
Did you hear that?
By the gods, it was horrible. He killed them all, and nothing could stop him. For now, maybe. I think he only let me live because I ran. Oh,
Gods, how could he have killed them all? He's not even a Tuatha, but nothing even scratched him. The worst thing was, he seemed sorry to kill us. We thought so too. We were wrong.
Damn it! I told them not to try anything until we arrived. This wouldn't be related to Aylin and her friend coming down that road, would it? If you or anyone else, I'd try to stop you. As it is, I'll just wish you good luck. This can't end here.
We know that... You haven't tried going in there, have you? No, of course you haven't. You're still alive. This took a little longer to find than I had hoped, but it should be exactly what you need. Dren had a twin in the Summer Court. Dith, the Defender of Valor. They were both entirely immune to each other's power. She faded when the House of Valor fell, but my early experiments with the Well of Souls provided a quite useful little surprise. You see, when trying to draw life energy from the ether, I captured her essence and bound it into this charm. With this, you will be immune to Dren's power. Now, be fair. Fae don't have souls as mortals do. They are a form of magic with a physical form. And I only got a little of it anyway. Just enough for a certain degree of immunity to Dren's power. It only works for one person, but it'll be enough for you to reach him. Trouble is, he'll be immune to your power as well. But I'm sure you can think of something. Now, go show that defender what little magic is.
Turn back or die. Bold words. The same bold words that your ally spoke, and they lie around us now. I made an oath to protect my house and my homeland. No power short of death can keep me from fulfilling my duties. I sense my sister's essence on you. Did you mean her no harm as well? No matter what tricks you bear, there's no way you can defeat me. Enough. We could fight each other until the mountains wear away, but that will aid nothing. My sister and I were chosen to protect our kind. So long as our houses stood, the Fae would never pass from this world. I in pride, and she in valor. We never imagined that our houses could crumble beneath our feet. Mortals led to the collapse of my sister's house, but with Gadflow's help, they shall not have mine. He may taint pride with his Prismere and his obscene god, but it will keep us eternal. I cannot yield, but if your true intent is to stop Gadflow, then perhaps there is a way my house and my honor could remain pure. If you would promise to spare the House of Pride, then we could put aside our powers and have an honest battle. Win, and your army may pass. If this is the only way to secure a chance for my house's untainted survival, then so be it. If you should win, then destroy the Tuatha in my house and the hateful witch knight Myrna. Then we can be truly free.
You did it! You actually beat him! Guess I owe Ventrinio a drink. A promise is a promise, and the Witch Knights of Pride would be powerful allies to have on our side. I'll send a few soldiers along to help. Meanwhile, I'll get the other troops ready to move into Alabastra once that gate opens. Get that gate open, and the army will...
Halt! Parley in honor of Dren, if you would be so kind as to have a word with us. I have been chosen by the remaining members of our house to speak for all. We were most honored by your intention to free us. Simply carry forth and destroy Witch Knight Myrna, who has so commandeered our house. And her dreadful Prismere Chantry, of course. We are sure you'll have no problem finding her, or defeating her. We eagerly anticipate your success.
Well done, child of dust. You've killed the immortal defender and liberated a house full of arrogant backstabbers. I should thank you for exposing the disloyal amongst my kin. But then, I have so much to thank you for. Your bravado is nothing more than the mewling of an angry kitten. Each Tuatha you kill makes the rest of us stronger. Each one feeds Tirnoch. The goddess of mercy awakens. And with every step you take into my homeland, she comes that much closer to walking our world and purging your kind. So welcome to Alabastra. It shall be the death of you once more.
We have seen our champion bested, our advantage lost. Our minds are cleared. Bravo to you, champion. House of Pride in our ineffable wisdom renounces the Tuatha and demands that you accept our immediate surrender. Your army is welcome here. We trust our benevolence will be well remembered should Gadflow be dethroned. We thank you kindly, and our mages have already been assisting your army in their march into Alabastra. We trust you do not object. Most excellently spoken. You have the commanding presence of a young Aegon, who once also bore the pleasure of our august company. Allow us to welcome you to Alabastra. We trust your visit will be eventful.
The House of Pride opened its gates and welcomed us as honorary champions. They say it's simple hospitality, but I suspect we have you to thank. Now is the difficult part. We can hold Cluricon, even push a little into Alabastra, but we don't have the forces to mount a siege on Gadflow. Alabastra is a maze of valleys. Gadflow's remaining faithful would spot an army moving together, and the valleys would be the death of us. But where an army would fail, the 5 of us can triumph. If we split up, we can travel faster and catch them unaware. We will at the House of Vengeance, on Gadflow's doorstep. From there, we strike at Bale, the heart of his empire. More than you'd think. But I promise I'll explain it all to you. Maybe once Gadflow's dead. I'll see you in Alabastra.
I need to talk with you, but not here. I'll find you in Alabastra. I've put together a few facts about your death, and I think I know something grave. But not here. I don't want to cause a panic. I'll give them the slip and talk with you a little later.
We're not going to stop Gadflow by just standing here and chatting. Lead the way. I'll meet you at the House of Vengeance. I'll see you at the House of Vengeance.
Agarth wanted me to keep an eye on Lady Shear, but you and I need to have a talk first. I've been reviewing my notes of our last trip to Alabastra, and I've come to some startling conclusions about your death and Tirnoch. I don't know exactly, but it must have been a tremendously powerful source of magic. So powerful that the Well of Souls couldn't help but pick up on it. You were attuned to the well in my lab, but Hugh's well captured your essence. The power in Bale seems to have been the missing element. What's more, I think that power is the source of the Prismere crystals. Something intelligent and malignant. The creature the Tuatha called Tirnoch. No, but her power was the key. In fact, I bet she'll be glad to kill you again. And this time there's no well of souls to capture your essence. She's not a god. She's something much, much worse. And judging by the growth of this Prismere, she's very close to coming into our world for good. Whatever Gadflow's been doing, it's all in order to bring her here. You've got to stop him before it's too late.
Ventrinio insists on coming with me. Just as well. Someone should keep an eye on him. No telling where his true loyalties lie, or what he might do. I was going to sneak there by myself, but Ventrinio insists on following me. Don't worry, I'll make sure he's safe. Very noble, but we need to stay separate in order to avoid drawing too much attention. The gnome is more than enough for me to deal with. I'll see you soon enough. Don't worry. I'll see you in Alabastra.
Agarth will not be far behind you. Neither of us saw any sign of Aelin Shear or Ventrinio. A scout on the ridge above saw the Tuatha mounting for a counterattack. You should hear what he has to say before we move on. If you'd rather not wait, talk with Agarth. Time is of the essence. Careful.
Good to see you here. Ready? I am. But there hasn't been any sign of Aelin Shear or Ventrinio. Damn it all, I knew we couldn't trust her. I sent Ventrinio to keep an eye on her. He was sending me messages until recently. But there were fewer and fewer as we've gotten closer to Baal. We need to get through the House of Vengeance and kill the Cur. And we'll have to do it without them. We'll go as far as we can. Whatever is happening in Baal needs to be stopped as quickly as possible. Listen, you're more powerful than I ever was. If anyone can stop this, it's you. When you kill the Cur, you go into Baal and stop Gadflow. If we get separated, I'll keep fighting to keep an escape route open for you. Now go! Stay on guard. Try this one! Twice the hero I ever was, or could have been. Our forces can't keep going from here. We're stretched too thin, and we've lost too much. Sidon and I will hold the gate for you as long as we can. But Baal is nearly deserted. Head in, face Gadflow, end this. Good plan. I promise not to die if you don't. Just make sure you put a stop to Gadflow. Do that, and I predict our future involves sharing drinks and war stories around a cozy fire. Trust me, I'm a fate weaver.
At last. My deepest apologies for not being able to join the battle. Ventrinio was something of a hassle. He attacked me. It was only a matter of time before his greed got the better of him. The closer we got to Baal, the more obsessed he became with Tirnoch, and with harnessing Tirnoch's power, just like Gadflow did. That's why he had to be stopped, and why we need to talk about our mission. I wasn't sure I could trust you. You're not the same person you used to be.
We're running out of time. I'll explain as we go.
Lead on. I'm right behind you. This must have been a lot for you to take in at once. But I need you to be clear on who you are and what you need to do. A lot has changed since you were here last. It isn't going to be as easy this time. And last time it killed you. Oh, she's a creature with incredible power. A dragon. But she is no simple lizard in some child's tale. She has a power rivaled only by the gods. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Alpha sealed her in the Amethyst between this world and the world of magic. And there she went mad. As her prison weakened over time, she was able to tempt Gadflow into helping her gain enough power to break free. And if she escapes fully, it will mean the end of all mortal life. Tiernok's revenge for tens of thousands of years of imprisonment. That's why people like you and I have dedicated our lives to keeping Tiernok secret from the world. We were supposed to keep Tiernok hidden from the world. Anyone who learned too much had to die. But when Gadflow found her, you were the one who volunteered to kill him and seal Tiernok away once more, even though you were fated to fail. It took every trick we had to get you here the first time, and you still died. I don't know if you plan to be resurrected, but knowing you, I wouldn't be surprised. If you only think you're ready, then you're not the same cocky bastard that I used to work with. Just make sure you do the job right this time. You can't count on having a third life. And it'd be a shame to lose the man you've become. Huh. I have more important things to do than love. And so do you. But I do trust you with the fate of my world. It may not set your heart aflutter to hear it, but it'll have to do. Lead on. I'm right behind you.
You don't understand, do you? The power of Tiernok has rewritten the fate of...
Yes! Return to your grave! Crumble, child of dust! Lend me your power! Lend me your power!
An illusion. Something's not right. Where's If Gadflow isn't here, then he must be hiding further underground, someplace closer to the source of the Prismere. Definitely. The war's not over yet. Whatever bargain Gadflow made with Tiernok, it's about to pay off. When that happens, the world will not be spared her wrath. She's imprisoned deep in the Amethyst, but Gadflow's war has weakened her bonds. There's no time to spare. If she gets free, our world is lost. Let's go. Only you have the power to reseal Tiernok inside the Amethyst. I must keep the secret of her existence from the world. Once Tiernok is pushed back into her prison, these caverns must be sealed. But that leaves one question. Can I trust you to keep Tiernok's secret? There are things in this world that must remain hidden. If the power of the dragons were widely known, well, you've seen what has happened here. Gadflo tapped a fraction of her power. He upset the great cycle of the Fae and waged a genocidal war on the young races. Just coming in contact with her power managed to free you from fate's bonds. And if you can turn that freedom against her, she will have no power over Amalur. Nothing like you has ever existed before. As always, there's no way of knowing your future. If you're victorious, it may be the last time you change the fate of the world. Even if you fall back into fate's weave once her influence is gone from this world, it will be a far better fate than what Tiernok's emergence would bring. That is excellent. After all that you've done, it would have been a shame for you to die a second time. If you do escape, I will be watching you. And know this, anyone who learns the truth of what happens here, I will silence myself. Go. Stop Tiernok from fully entering this world. But remember, my blades will always be at your back. Nothing in the world is fated to stop Tiernok. That's why you're the only one who has a chance. I'm just here to make sure you take it. Let's go.
Come, Fate Weaver. Bring me your power. Sacrifice yourself and seal the fate of your world.
It's time to choose your fate. Amethyst lies beyond. This is where the dragon will breach the veil.
Come forward, mortals. Behold the birth of Tiernok. Attend your final hour.
My fate does not lie beyond those doors. You alone may change what is to come. Go!
Ah, yes. Welcome back, mortal. How does it feel, I wonder, to return to this place? Does the pain of your death still linger? Can you feel it echo through the air? And now, in this place, you shall witness the birth of Tiernok, the destruction of the Alpha, and the dawn of the endless winter. She comes. Tiernok the powerful, Tiernok the merciful. Qualla fella Tiernok, qualla sera Tiernok. Have I done well, lady? Are you pleased? Is it... did I...
You have served your purpose.
But I have so much more to give.
And now, Fateless One, you shall serve yours. Come closer. Give yourself to me. are nothing but dust. Why won't you die?
How could we have known that this would be a new beginning? I wonder now if we should have foreseen this outcome, but who knew then what fate would bring? I would have liked to have delivered this message in person, to see you one final time. That, however, would have been complicated. The order to which I belong had other plans. Were you ever to leave the crystalline fortress? When it comes to you, though, it seems no fate is written in stone. It was only through my assurances that your silence could be counted upon that either one of us still draws breath. I trust you will not make of me a liar. Were stories of what we have seen to begin to surface in the inns and taverns of Amalur, I would be asked to seek you out. And as we both know, the next time you die, there will be no return. But let us not speak of this. Your life is your own. Go now, and see what fate may bring you, or what fate you may bring. Perhaps one day in happier times, you and I will meet again. Until that day, I remain yours, Aelin Sher.
Well, awake at last. You gave us quite a scare. But you're here and the war's all but over. So who are we to complain? I was hoping you could tell us. Sidon and I were fighting a few remaining stragglers when all of a sudden they started this unholy wailing. I guess you must have killed Gadflow, because the Tuatha started screaming and ran away. There are still a few diehards, but they don't have the fire in them, you know? Wasn't much longer before Aelin showed up carrying you over her shoulder. Told me to watch over you, make sure you were okay. She left some kind of note for you, but I know better than to read a private message from the likes of her. There are still Tuatha who refuse to surrender, but yes, the war is ended. You should have seen the parade in Rathir. As for what's next, well, that's a tough question. See, a lot of the soldiers asked me for readings after the fighting ended, and try as I might, I can't see a fate for any of us. Good? Perhaps. Freedom is a blessing, and a curse. If fate truly no longer holds sway over us, only time will tell if it is for good or ill. But regardless of what happens, Amalur and its people remain because of you. And no matter where your path leads, never forget, a person is defined by his actions. Who you are is up to you, and you alone. Go, my friend. Enjoy this world and all of its splendors. You've earned it.